Second, we're just going to have a quick speeches here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of British Gibraltar. Welcome to the now traditional Gibraltar reception at the Conservative Party conference, which we have, as you know, every year. Believe me, I say that the enthusiasm of your presence here always resonates back to the rock itself. It really has taken too long since we had a normal year in which to gather and celebrate our long ties of friendship. Now, you may think you have a tough year ahead with a general election, preparing for a general election. I have only a couple of weeks. Gibraltar goes to the polls on the 12th of October. I'm not looking for your votes, but I know that the people of Gibraltar can always rely on your support. The Chief Minister, I know, would have loved to have been here. Fabian loves and enjoys the buzz of this conference and catching up with all of you. And we have great challenges ahead to secure the way forward for Gibraltar in a new life outside the European Union. We were very close to an agreement on a Gibraltar treaty. We now await the outcome of the Spanish electoral process to determine what path that future relationship will take. The people of Gibraltar thank you for your solidarity and for your support. We know that hand in hand with the United Kingdom, we will carve out our destiny together. For 300 years, that rock at the entrance to the Mediterranean has seen off sieges of all kinds. For 2 world wars and countless conflicts, we have stood together. And we always will. Finding a way to secure Gibraltar's future is in our very DNA. But recently it has been my grim task also to work on planning for a worst-case scenario. That would be no treaty with the European Union. A scenario where Spain perhaps becomes difficult and presses its sovereignty claim. But rest assured, we will never give in to that. But no agreement would mean no fluidity of access for goods and people coming in through the land border with Spain. The daily support that we need to keep our economy alive. But as I said, we need to wait and see who forms government in Spain later this month. But whatever happens, we know that with your strong support and the tireless backing of the British people, we will prevail. Let me say that Fabian and I are both very optimistic about the future. Our objective remains to secure a UK-EU agreement about Gibraltar that does not surrender one iota of our British sovereignty. Gibraltar belongs only to its people and to our King. I am grateful that so many of you often holiday in Gibraltar, that we share our lives as one British community, that we are as much a part of the UK family as the Isle of Wight, or indeed Manchester. Gibraltar knows that we can count on you, and you know that you can count on us. The support of the Prime Minister and of our good friend, the Foreign Secretary, James Cleverly, and also our Europe Minister, Leo Doherty, has been invaluable to us in this process. Leo and I indeed have spent many hours online and in person planning for no deal to make sure Gibraltar is fully resilient. So now it gives me great pleasure to call upon James Cleverly, our Foreign Secretary, to say a few words. Thank you, James, for coming, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you all for coming. I always enjoy speaking either in Gibraltar or at Gibraltar events. The reception that I receive is always warm, is always generous, and that I think is a wonderful reflection of the welcome I received on my recent private family holiday to Gibraltar. And I say recent private family holiday. One of those words was not quite as accurate as the others. It was a recent, it was a holiday. It was with my family. The idea of maintaining some semblance of privacy in Gibraltar, as you I imagine, can already guess, was largely impossible. But I have to say, I was reminded, my visit coincided with Gibraltar Day, and I saw the exuberance, the passion of the wonderful, wonderful people of Gibraltar, making their position very clear, that they deserve the right to choose their own destiny. And I can assure you, as I did to those who I met on the Rock, that you will always have the support of a Conservative government when you choose your own destiny. And I'm reminded that not that long ago, the question was asked and the answer was given. And I know that referenda don't always give completely decisive answers. I struggle to think of a referendum outcome that gave a clearer and a more unambiguous answer than the one about Gibraltar's future. Gibraltarians said they wanted to remain part of the family, part of the British family, and we will defend that decision because we believe in self-determination, and we always will. Now, you're allowed to applaud that one. Now, as you've said, part of my job is making sure we do the important but sometimes difficult things. We have, of course, been negotiating with Spain to agree a process by which Gibraltarians can enjoy access to Spain and Spaniards can enjoy access to Gibraltar. It is in the social and economic interests of both sides of the border at the isthmus to do that. And as you've heard, the negotiations were progressing, but then the domestic political situation in Spain has meant that we have had to put those negotiations on hold. It is not for me as the UK Foreign Secretary to comment or predict the outcome of the Spanish governmental negotiations, just as it's not my job to discuss or predict Gibraltar's forthcoming election. But I would let you know, and I would let the good people of Gibraltar know, that whatever combination that we have on either side of the border, we will always act with the interests of Gibraltarians at the forefront of our mind. Yes, of course, we want to get a deal. We want to get a deal that works, and we will only sign up to a deal that works and works for the Gibraltarian people, respects their decision, respects their choices, respects their desire to remain part of the British family. And that is why those negotiations have taken longer than any of us would like. You can give stuff away really easily. That's not what I got into this job to do. I got into this job to do the right things, sometimes the hard things, because it is important that we do that. The Prime Minister is on exactly the same page. That is why the theme of this conference is making the tough decisions, the important decisions that will be to the benefit of people for years, indeed decades to come. And that is exactly the philosophy that I have taken into the negotiations with Spain. But, ladies and gentlemen, today, just like on my recent visit to Gibraltar, today there is an opportunity to celebrate this wonderful, wonderful relationship that we have got. When I look out of the window of my hotel room across the skies of Manchester, those drizzly grey skies of Manchester, and I think back to how recently I looked across the skyline of Gibraltar, seeing the Rock in the middle distance, emblazoned with sunshine, with wonderfully tanned, short T-shirt wearing people, red and white everywhere, as far as the eye could see. it takes a little bit more imagination to see the physical similarities between Gibraltar and Manchester. But what I did see in both is that energy, that enthusiasm. This is why we love coming to Manchester, because this is a place that is buzzing. Well done, Manchester. One of the reasons yes, round of applause. One of the reasons I love going to Gibraltar, because Gibraltar is a place that is buzzing. So whether it's grey and rainy or red, white and sunny, enjoy, because we will always value this wonderful, this unique relationship we have with Gibraltar. We will always protect it, and you have my promise of that. So raise a glass, raise a virtual glass to Gibraltar and the UK. Friends forever.